Yeah, let's go into what pink sauce is.
So, I don't know her name, but this lady on TikTok made a sauce, and it claims to just have dried milk, as she's come out and said afterwards. She was trying to clear it up. Dried milk,
was milk?
apparently. Originally, a lot of the promotion just had sunflower oil, like paprika and different
It
peppers
was like
ground
dragon
up.
fruit in it too, right?
Dragon fruit gave it the pink color.
Yeah.
And I think a few other things.
Man, dragon fruit is the most mid fruit.
And it's also odd because she was throwing it on like burgers and chicken and all sorts of shit, like
Yeah.
a fruity flavor with that.
See, I imagine I wouldn't think it matters all that much because with dragon fruit being so fucking bland, it's not gonna add anything. It's simply there
true.
for the color.
Yeah.
For how pretty dragon fruit is, it has got nothing going on inside.
Yeah. Just like me, for real.
Yeah.
Nah, but essentially, she claimed that it was fairly simple ingredients. She was making it at home, like with a small production, and it kind of blew up overnight. And people were a little thrown off because, one, the nutrition label was off. It was completely wrong in certain points. Like it said 444 portions, and I guess that was a mix-up, is what she's claiming. And people were worried because a lot of them were coming in like spoiled or rotten.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, because it does use dried milk, which is supposed to be a little bit more preservable. It has a better shelf life than if you were to put dairy in it.
I mean, for you to be a small business selling something that is perishable like that is so fucking like irresponsible. Like if it's like makeup or something that isn't being consumed, that's a different story entirely. Like people are getting sick over this.
Yeah. And apparently the update, as I got it from Philip DeFranco, and this is still, updating at the time, she is claiming that, she came out and said something about, like, I don't need to go to the FDA because I don't make medicine. I don't make drugs. And people are like, you forgot the food part, dummy. Apparently, the FDA, I guess there's something about condiments where they are regulated less seriously than other foods and stuff. So there is slight validity to her argument. I guess there are a lot of holes and there's a lot of gray area there. And that's how she's able to pick this apart and be like, I don't need to go to the FDA. I think that she did genuinely fuck up. I don't think that she was saying that because she knew this. I think that she was genuinely saying, I don't need to go to FDA because I don't make drugs, and she didn't know.
I remember it was like, this isn't a medicinal, whatever.
Yeah.
So like, oh, did she just get lucky in that sense?
I think that she must have had some sort of legal team or something that after the fact was like, no, she is kind of right because this. And essentially there is a chance that she goes to court over this. But her claims are a little bit more valid than just like, oh, I didn't realize the FDA regulated food. So.
Okay.
But it's still really funky because, like you were saying, as a small business owner and you're making perishable items, it just seems like it's ran really irresponsibly. Their marketing is really funny, and the reason that people were thrown off in the first place is because there are some where there's a lot more dragon fruit, and that's why it looks so bright, vivid pink.
Yeah, it looks so artificial. It looks like Pepto.
She claims that the ones that get sent out are less pink because apparently it makes your shit red. And she was like, we didn't want to freak people out by adding a shit ton of dragon fruit.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't really hurt you, but it, like, makes your shit red. And people would be like, oh, shit.
I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's her reasoning for the pink coloring. But because the marketing shows it being so bright and vibrant, it's kind of the equivalent of like a McDonald's commercial where the Big Mac is like
Oh, it looks pristine
fucking
and all that.
gourmet as shit. It's like stacking in beautifully. Like
And then when they give you a Big Mac, it looks like they threw it against the fucking wall.
yeah, it looks like they stomped that shit out, spit on it, and then wrapped it back up for you.
Yeah.
Like it. That's kind of the same feeling that a lot of these customers are getting, especially when it comes in smelling spoiled and awful.
Right. I've seen some of the reviews. Generally speaking, they all sort of say the same thing, where it's like a sweet ranch or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is so unbelievably runny that I would never be able to trust not only the sauce, but also the people who still decided to consume it.
Yeah.
Like, I know you spent money, but you're sacrificing a lot of things, and one of those being your dignity.
To some extent, I feel like the best thing that you could do if you really want to try this, because to some extent I could kind of understand the appeal, but I think that it's very clear at this point that like it's not safe.
Yeah.
It seems like simple enough to just make at home.
Right.
If you want to try it, just make it. I wouldn't buy this shit.